right, so let me give you some updates on transfers. I mean, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, the Gunners, then Liverpool. One or two transfers and also a team I'm here to break it down to you. Manchester United on Carlos Baleba, then Chelsea on Antonio Silva, then Nicolas Jackson. Manchester City on, Rodrigo Guez of Real Madrid. Then another story on Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur on Barcelona, Ferran Torres. So I'm here to give you the breakdown of these stories. Now let me start from Manchester United. Carlos Baleba of Brighton and Hove Albion. Now the conversation is that the first approach at Manchester United for the come out Paul Baba, it was through intermediaries. And when the intermediaries got to Brighton and Hove Albion, Paul Baba told them that Carlos Baleba is not for sale, but a deal could be done around 90 million plus 10 million add-ons. Then the intermediaries returned to Manchester United, operating friend Christopher Vevel and Omar Berrada. Then, they were told that Carlos Baleba, the Brighton for some tono, but a fee of 90 million plus 10 million add-ons could make a deal. United wanted them, or United want to try themselves. So now there is a delegation of Christopher Vevel and Omar Berrada leading the delegation to Brighton and Hove Albion to meet Openia, a friend of Paul Baba, or a chief executive officer at Brighton. Now, in a conversation, Manchester United for believe say they can do a deal less than £100 million now, Brighton for Ebusara. But let me tell you, you and I know Paul Baba, on a chief executive officer at Brighton and Hove Albion. Paul Baba is that kind of, a manner or you're careless. He doesn't care about anything. But the price is too hard, whether you like it or not. If you want, bring the money and take the player. So on Pensua, call baby. We've seen a negotiation between Paul Baba and Openia and Todd Bowley for Chelsea at the time. Chelsea wanted a branch for the Marco Cruella. We've seen Paul Baba and Chelsea having a negotiation on a branch for the Moises Caicedo, Corozo. We've seen a negotiation of Chelsea, then Paul Baba on Openia Fed Grand Porta. During that time, I'm a coach Grand Porta, so Paul Baba don't that kind of, team on the beer, or you don't care. Or the price in the 2-on-1. You can't intimidate Paul Baba. So that 90 million plus 10 million add-ons in it. Or what is why United for a 85 million pounds? For a brand very Carlos Baleba. But don't forget that Carlos Baleba was bought for 27 million euros. Carlos Baleba from Leo Metropole, 27 million euros. After just one season or 2 seasons, Carlos Baleba bought 85 million pounds. Don't forget that Carlos Baleba is a replacement for Moises Caicedo at the time of Chelsea for Kofa Caicedo. So now there is this conversation that Manchester United want to meet Openia Fed Paul Baba and have a negotiation on Carlos Baleba. But that transfer, it is possible to it may happen. United want to offer a player plus cash for Brighton. But you see, conversation, my source, information I'm getting from my sources is that Brighton and Hove Albion aren't ready to accept any player apart from cash. And they are ready to accept, payment in installment from Manchester United. But the thing is that if this deal goes through, Carlos Baleba will be the most expensive African player in football history. 90 million plus 10 million add-ons. If you are a United fan out there, do you still want Manchester United to buy Carlos Baleba? He's a very good player, talented, a progressor. The progression, I could say on that kind of, potential, Carlos Baleba on the progression, is good. It's quite good than a brand of Moises Caicedo. When it comes to progressing the ball, a progressive defensive midfielder. So Carlos Baleba is up there. So that's the news coming out from Manchester United. They are yet to meet Paul Baba and see what the outcome. Chelsea for on Abrante Ferrer Alexandre Garnacho. Now, Alexandre Garnacho, I'm making it clear. And I tell Manchester United for say it's either Chelsea or I stay. It's either Chelsea. This is also another demand that Garnacho at the Akoma United for. It's either Chelsea or I stay. And he said he's ready to even stay at Manchester United without playing matches for 6 months, because after 6 months, they read January more. And Garnacho no per se say Sanya Chelsea plan or join here, then he's ready to sacrifice the remaining 6 months. How bit me and they decided say either say United for man acquire. Chelsea acquire Manchester United, Edding Koma about Alejandro Garnacho. And Manchester United, they are quoting around £45 million. Chelsea want to do a deal. Chelsea want to do a deal around £30 million because they believe that Alejandro Garnacho profile although at the age of 21 years, on Shedden Biasa, but a player I'm United for the Yinama dear. Chelsea, they aren't ready to accept that to pay that £45 million now United for Ebusara. So Chelsea want to do a deal around £30 million, which is going to be difficult. And no normal Garnacho I catch United for say it's either Chelsea or I stay. So Chelsea for they believe they have advantage over a branch final Alejandro Garnacho because Garnacho is already pushing to join Chelsea. And Chelsea believes say if the player is pushing, meaning there is opportunity for them say any money be over the back of United will accept that money for Alejandro Garnacho to leave on or to move on. But United, for you say they are very, very adamant that less than £45 million a year. I'm going to me accept for a brand here. Alejandro Garnacho. Now Garnacho, the reason why here Chelsea for air corner say you say it is just a recommendation or a demand from Enzo Maresca. I believe say the pace, the physicality as an Argentine player, the long range shooting, the direct play. Now they believe that in direct play now he's equal to a branch friend Pedro Neto of Chelsea. After I must say he could even better if say Onya. I mean that kind of entity now what you say. Alejandro Garnacho profile in crowd and any potentials now he could even be better than a branch friend Pedro Neto. His abilities in there you say I was through year pa. Chelsea for the believe said 21 years in there. Amunya time amano for about 2 years a crana. Alejandro Garnacho will be 23 years. It after 2 years not pick here. I'm Chelsea for the bit match Moka. That's the story coming out from Chelsea, Manchester United, and Alejandro Garnacho. Then on Nicholas Jackson, Chelsea for a catch Epic Jackson. Don't forget, say Epic Jackson and Nicholas Jackson and the agency. Chelsea for a catch Epic Jackson for they say I brought for Nicholas Jackson. You perceive a ton. Nemum, Sikabi a baby less than £65 million in a year. Initially, not Chelsea for about £80 million near the other, but now Chelsea for the believe says someone share here. I'm because you perceive a ton as an transfer window not close because the car I'm on will be a map. So Chelsea for na catch Epic Jackson for they say it is not less than £65 million. Now there is Aston Villa, there is AC Milan, there is Napoli, and there is Newcastle United. Nicholas Jackson I catch Epic Jackson for they say if he is moving from Chelsea, he want to join a team one. I'm Premier League anymore. He want to join a team one. They play the UEFA Champions League. So now, if a team of Premier League and a team of Champions League, they are one Aston Villa or Premier League anymore, Newcastle United or Premier League anymore. So you consider these two teams. But at the same time, Aston Villa isn't playing the UEFA Champions League, but Newcastle are playing. So meaning say, arguably, Nicholas Jackson want to play for Bobo and Newcastle United. Newcastle for also share, making sure say a branch of Zida Ishak will stay. Boy, this one catch Newcastle for and say, no, I'm not staying. I'm not staying. So if say Ishak every Newcastle, yeah, then the next on the list of Newcastle United, a branch here, Nicholas Jackson of Chelsea. That's the news coming out from a branch here, Nicholas Jackson. Then on the same Chelsea, after Levi Cole, Chelsea 4% ammonia replacement of a branch here, Levi Cole. Now Chelsea 4 and then a branch here, Antonio Silva of Benfica. Now Chelsea for you say a branch here, Antonio Silva and the qualities. Now Antonio Silva was just 21 years. Oh, they need 20 years. Chelsea for them believe say a right-footed centre back there. You and I know that when it comes to football, you can't be a right-footed centre back. Meaning say ball na kasa or the 90s wa on the ball. What you say? You say you can't be a left-footed winger and a left-footed attacker. In football sense, we believe say that player need the only ball. So that is. The same kind of profile. Say when it comes to the defensive side, you could talk about. A right-footed centre back or nimbo nebo. Chelsea for believe say Antonio Silva in nimbo nebo. Qualities in tier match Chelsea for no. A pair branch of Antonio Silva. 1, I must say the composure. 2, his passing range. 3, his physical duels. 4, the area challenges. 5, strong tackling. 6, good on his feet. 7, his build-up play and 8, his progressive passing. Meaning say onye defender or pass ball edeba na chi bebre. Or your progressive passer, or pass ball in the corner anymore. Chelsea for say Antonio Silva, that kind of profile now. I'm gonna replace it. A brand friend Levi Kowa Wopra. Amukobusa Benfica. Benfica for SA boy a release clause of 100 million euros. That was the contract. Chelsea have made it clear to Benfica that they aren't ready to pay that 100 million euros for a brand friend and Antonio Silva. Nemum, they have an offer. The offer is that they want to offer cash plus either Renato Viega or Aaron Asomino. Benfica for Inchusubako. But you see, conversation, I feel here. It's just, a slight conversation that they are having in developing people. But these are some of the details that I can also give it to you. That Chelsea, I'm making sure say they add a player plus cash for Brand Feno, Antonio Silva of Benfica. That is another news coming out from there. It's either Benfica will accept and also won't accept it. But you see between Renato Viega and Aaron Asamino, Benfica for Chusubako, no more Chelsea for Kanka home. MFA brand here, your friend Antonio Silva, Ewo Benfica. That is the news coming. Now, last week, Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United presented 50 million euros in my Barcelona for brand Ferran Torres. Now, within the conversation, the story coming out, or from my sources, you see, Barca they wanted to accept that 50 million. And secondly, Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle believe that Ferran Torres, he has already been in the English Premier League. Don't forget that Ferran Torres was playing for Manchester City before Barcelona came for him. So they believe that Oba need adaptation and no problem. Barcelona, they were ready to accept that 50 million from either Newcastle or Tottenham Hotspur. But Hansi Flick, I catch that United Barcelona for they said no. Ferran Torres, no. Well, one of the most important players. Because since the Babe started, you and I know, say, a Brazilian friendly Lewandowski, he's about 23, 24 years. So Barcelona, any Hansi Flick per se, I'm a limited boy in the playing time. No more far matters me bring Kuku a Brazilian friendly Lewandowski so Ferran Torres being the backup option, no, Hansi Flick believes that he has already started the preseason with Ferran Torres and he understands the system and tactics of Openia if Hansi Flick. So Hansi Flick in Ejinem say my Barcelona for Antoine Brantia if Ferran Torres and yes Hadia and Cabasa for accepted that 50 million now Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle and so it made the coin. These are some of the news and so about transfer. I mean there are a lot of stories to talk about, but for the meantime, Yampon what is breaking now subscribe it on my channel on this mommy now FIFA notification bar to on. Please subscribe, put on your notification bar and share, comment, and review the comment on our next episode. My name is Ivan Sapia on ABS Sports on ABS Studios.